In this lecture, let's see why technical ranking matters in a SEO. Technical factors are just like an entry ticket when you enter inside a theme park. In technical factors, we only talk about the on page optimization of your website and not about the content. There is a separate section for content. Technical factors are not so crucial factors to get higher rankings in search engine results, but they are very essential to enter into the search engine results. You could have heard everywhere that content is king. Yes, I do accept. But without these technical factors, just having good content will not take you to better search engine rankings. Keywords are getting their importance declined day by day. I will explain this through a simple example. Some 8 to 9 years back, SEO experts used to stuff keywords for every other alternate line in the post or in the content. But after some 2 to 3 years, they reduced the number of times of keyword appearance in their post for every 50 words. In last 2 to 3 years, the keyword appearance has got reduced further to every 100th word. But do you know one thing? Now the best SEO content is the one which doesn't have the keyword in the body of the post. Do you wonder how it can happen? Because recently there is a higher rate of emergence of proof terms, relevant terms, etc. Don't confuse yourself with what is a proof term, what is the relevant term. Wow, what is that? We will see everything in detail in the upcoming sections and upcoming lectures. Just learn one thing, that what is SEO a year or 2 years back is a negative SEO now. A negative SEO is something which, if you do in your blog, then it will reduce your search engine rankings rather than improving the condition. Let's move on to the next important point, that is readability improvement. Over the keyword research of 2013, 14, 15, and 16, search engines are giving more importance to readability. Readability is nothing but, can a 6th grade or a ninth grade student be able to read your post? Or is it readable only by a postgraduate or a graduate student? So, if your readability score is more, then it means that a 6th or 8th grade student can read and understand your content. Next comes hashtags and description. Search engines expect the existence of headings inside your content. For example, instead of just increasing the text size for headings or making them bold, you should assign H1, H2, and H3 tags for headings, subheadings, and minor headings respectively. Also, they expect you to give a separate meta description in WordPress excerpts. Next comes domain and URL authority. A domain with higher SEO visibility is 100 times better than a normal website with 100 keyword optimized articles or posts. Nowadays, people are writing longer and longer posts. For example, posts that are running about 2000 to 3000 words. Also, people tend to add more multimedia content. For example, videos, images, and several animation effects inside the post, which causes slower loading. Earlier, Google tends to boost search engine rankings for websites which loads faster. But that's not the case now. If your website loads slower, then your search engine ranking will move lot many places back in the search engine results. So page speed or page loading time was a luxury 2 to 3 years back, which is an essential commodity now. So let's see how we can improve and implement all these technical factors inside our websites. In this lecture, we are going to see the importance of meta description existence. Here, I have searched for AMD AM4 socket. This is a keyword and my search result appears here. This is the title and this is the URL. Leave these two things. The thing you need to concentrate is these two lines. These are called meta description. Do you know why they are called meta descriptions? Let's see the post here. Normally, when you don't give meta description, Google automatically generates it by taking some first 150 to 155 characters from your post. If I haven't provided the meta description, then just see here. There is no AMD AM4 socket keyword in the first 150 characters, which could have led me to the technical disadvantage. But I have provided the custom meta description where AMD AM4 socket keyword is available. See here. This is the meta description I have provided. Here you can see AMD AM4 socket keyword in the meta description. Though it's not important to add keywords in meta description, the existence of meta description is very important. Do you know why I insist on adding meta description for your post? Just see this test result or research of 10,000 keywords. Here you can see that for the top 30 search results, almost 98 to 99% of the posts have meta description in 2014, and this percentage has increased even by another 1% in 2015. This is why I insist to add meta description to all of your posts. Strong meta description text will help optimize the search engine result pages. Headings help organize the landing page content. This improves the user experience, click-through rates, and bounce rates, which will in turn improve rankings. In the upcoming lectures, let's see how we can add meta description to each of your posts. But in the next lecture, I'm going to explain you the importance of H1 and H2 tags. These are also called as heading tags. In this lecture, we are going to see the importance of existence of H1 and H2 tags in your post. H1 and H2 tags are nothing but heading tags. Before learning how to insert H1 and H2 tags in your post, let me show you or let me make you understand the importance of H1 and H2 tags in search engine rankings. The average usage of H2 tags has increased by around 4 to 5% in 2016 from second search result to the 30th one. Also, you can see that the percentage of usage of these H2 and even H1 tags is increasing gradually from the 30th search result to the second one. Almost 70 to 80% of top 20 pages are optimized with the existence of H1 headings. So it has become a prerequisite for a good ranking. In recent 2016 research data, the proportion of landing pages with a H1 in the source code has risen for almost all search positions compared with last year. The interesting part in this year's research is the correlation factor itself. It is 10% for existence of H1 and just 1% for existence of H2. Google has diverted its importance from existence of H2 in 2015 to existence of H1 in 2016. Even then, the existence of H2 in top 10 search results has increased from 74% in 2015 to 77% in 2016. And you can clearly see that not all top URLs use H2 headings in their content, such as from 8th to 10th. So, if you add more H2 headings in your content, it will give competitive advantage to your web pages. This doesn't mean you have to stuff H2 headings. Add it wherever it's appropriate. It should make your content easy to read and navigate for your users, thereby improving the overall user experience too. If you still want an absolute number to follow, I would suggest one H2 heading for every 150 to 200 words. Now let's see how we can add H1 and H2 tags in your post. Unlike meta descriptions or other technical SEO factors, you don't need a separate plugin to insert these heading tags. For a bunch of paragraphs, add a consolidated title or a heading like this and then select the text. Then press toolbar toggle and give or assign it as heading 1 and heading 2 or subheadings like heading 3 or heading 4, etc. But I do recommend to keep only one heading 1 in your entire post, and you can assign multiple heading 2 and heading 3 tags to several other headings. Generally, most themes make the title as heading 1, else just give only one heading 1 in your post. These tags will inform the search engine that this is heading 3 tag or this is H2 tag, etc. You can even verify it by going to the text mode, and you can see that AMD AM4 socket finalized title is surrounded by H1 tags in the front and back. This will say to the search engine that this title belongs to a heading 1 tag. Also, you might have wondered that the percentage of existence is increasing gradually from the 30th search result to the second one. But why there is a sudden drop always in the first search result, even in H2 or H1? Along with the answer to this question, I will also make you realize the importance of H1 and H2 heading tags, meta descriptions, in terms of user experience in your site. Let's see that in the next lecture. In this lecture, we are going to learn the answer for the question I said in the previous lecture. That is, why always the first search result doesn't mingle with the factors that we see in the second to 30th one. Also, you are going to learn the importance of H1, H2 and meta description tags for the user experience in your site. First, let's see the uniqueness of number 1 search result. You could have seen that the first search result has got a lesser percentage of H1, H2 and meta description existence, but still it ranks first, isn't it? This is because of the term called brand factor. You can also refer it to domain SEO visibility. For example, when a similar content is posted by a high authority website and a new website, Google gives the higher ranking for the higher authority website. Higher authority refers to better SEO domain visibility. Since the average usage of these H1, H2 and meta description tags are very high, I do recommend you to use these heading tags as well as the meta description tags in your post to get higher ranking in the search results. Now let's come to the answer for how this heading tags and meta description increases the user experience in your site. I have already shown you that the meta description in the search results has got the keyword AMD AM4 socket. So it induces the user to click my search result compared to any other search result which doesn't have that particular keyword. So it increases the CTR, that is click-through rate. But once the user clicks the search result and comes to my post, if he doesn't find anything related to that keyword, then he may bounce back to the search result page immediately, or he may close the browser altogether, which will increase the bounce rate of my post. Alternatively, if you want to reduce the bounce rate, you should include only the related and optimized keywords for your post in the meta description. This is how it increases the user experience by reducing the bounce rate. Also, when you segregate the content with heading 1 and heading 2 tags, it's easier for the reader to read and navigate. Also, it structures your post to the reader in such a way that he can directly go to the required information section. For example, in this post, I have given two different heading 2s, that is, specification of AMD Zen processor and features of Summit Ridge platform or Bristol Ridge platform. Here, if any user specifically wants to read about AMD Zen processor specification, he can straight away move to this section and read about the specification of Zen processor. Whereas, if he is interested in features of Summit Ridge or Bristol Ridge platform, he can directly come here to read this segment. In this way, you can help the user to find his required information easily and effectively. This is how you are increasing the user experience, as well as you are getting higher search engine rankings in search results. I have used a term called Domain SEO Visibility twice in this lecture, isn't it? Let me tell you what is Domain SEO Visibility. Or let's see the importance of keyword in the domain name itself in the next lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see Domain SEO Visibility. To explain what is Domain SEO Visibility, let me show you with an example. In this Google search page, I have searched for the keyword WordPress website. The first result is an ad. So let's skip that and move on to the first organic search result, which belongs to the domain wordpress.com. The second result is from wordpress.org. Only the fifth or sixth result is from siteground.com. So, even if siteground.com optimizes its page or post for WordPress website keyword, the chances of appearing in the first search result is very less. This is because of Domain SEO Visibility score of the domain wordpress.com. This score can be easily measured and is available in several tools such as Search Metrics Suite. Here, I have searched for WordPress.com and you can see that the SEO visibility score of WordPress.com is around 422,000, whereas for WordPress.org, the score is 215,000. But the score for SiteGround.com is just 16,000. That's why even if SiteGround.com optimizes its page for the keyword WordPress website, it has very lesser chance to appear in the first search result compared to WordPress.com. So now you could have understood that the importance of domain SEO visibility is much more higher than optimizing your page for a popular keyword. Let's see the research data in 2015. Always, the first Google search result is an exception and it will not follow our pattern of research. So let's analyze from the second search result to the 30th one. Here, the second search result has got a score of about 10 million. That's around 11 million actually. Whereas the domain SEO visibility score for the 30th search result is somewhere around 2 million. That's why if you want to buy a domain name, don't look for the keyword. Instead, choose a good brand name and develop that brand name so that people can search for the direct domain name in Google search. So, to increase domain SEO visibility, the domain should have got two important things. The first thing is number of backlinks from high authority domains. For example, WordPress.com has got many authoritative links from several websites such as Facebook, Pinterest, Google, and several other websites too. We can easily see that using Open Site Explorer. This domain authority score is same as SEO visibility score by Searchmetrics, whereas Moz names it as domain authority, and that domain authority for WordPress.com is 96 out of 100. This means it has got so many established links from so many authoritative domains. Here you can see that WordPress.com has got 126,000 links from several other authoritative root domains, and the total links amounts to 7.8 million, which is not an easy task to attain. That's why WordPress has got the higher domain authority or domain SEO visibility. The second factor that improves domain SEO visibility is that people should directly search for that domain name. Coming to the research data, it's obvious that search volume of domain name has got higher importance as it has a correlation factor of 16%. As more people starts to search for a keyword along with your brand name, your site will start to rank better for such keywords, even without your brand name. Let's take cnet.com for example. This is one of the famous websites writing PC hardware reviews, news, gadgets, etc. But with more and more people searching for the term CNET plus some keywords in Google search, such as CNET Intel processor reviews, it increases the domain SEO visibility score or domain authority score for that particular domain. That in turn increases the ranking of CNET website for keywords such as Intel processor reviews. So now you could have understood what is the meaning of domain SEO visibility or domain authority. In the next lecture, let's see about keyword in the domain name. In this lecture, you are going to see keyword in domain name. Before entering into the analyzation or interpretation of keyword in domain name, you should know two important terms, that is EMD and PMD. What is EMD? EMD is exact match domain. For example, if you search in Google for the term diapers, then diapers.com would be the exact match domain. EMD can be a single word like insurance.com or a phrase such as reputationrepair.com. So what is PMD then? PMD is partial match domain. Let's have an example for partial match domain. Here the keyword is pay and the domain name is pay, where pay is half of the domain name. Since it's partially matching with the keyword, it's called partial match domain. Let's come back to keyword in domain name research data. Here is the research of 10,000 keywords with exact match domain. This transparent orange line represents 2014 and this thick orange line represents 2015. As you already know, the x-axis in this graph represents ranking of search result in Google search engine, whereas the y-axis represents the percentage of keyword in domain name. As usual, let's skip the first search result and let's analyze from the second one to the 30th one. In 2014, only 8% of the search results have got the keyword in their domain name, whereas in 2015, this percentage has got reduced considerably to 5 to 6%. Since the correlation factor is minus 2%, a domain with a keyword in it gives lower ranking compared to the ones which don't have keyword in their domain name. So what you can infer from this research? Before coming to a conclusion, read this tweet from Matt Kurtz from Google. He had tweeted in 2012 about a Google algo change. It's nothing but an algorithm change which will reduce the low quality exact match domains in search results. Here is a graph of the immediate effect after that Google algo change. The exact match domain post, which was in the first search result, was moved to 11th position, and the post with exact match domain in around 12th to 30th position was moved to 41. And you can see the rest in this image itself. High position study indicated that average EMD ranking went from number 13.4 to number 26.6, and the average top 10 exact match domain went from number 3.2 to number 12. Here you can see the graph of PMD influence, where the x-axis represents the date. This is April 4 and here is August 22. These dates are in the year 2012. In April 4, 5.5% of search results were influenced by partial match domains, which has got reduced considerably in August 22 to just 4%. And year by year, this influence has got reduced considerably. So, what is the final outcome of this research? If you're going to buy a new domain, don't look for the keyword in your domain name. Instead of giving a search ranking boost, it will push you behind in the search results. So instead of searching for a domain with keyword, build some new brand and attain higher domain SEO visibility or authority, which we saw in the previous lecture. In the next lecture, let's see the importance of HTTPS or Secured HTTP Protocol. HTTPS. What is HTTPS? It's nothing but a secured HTTP. Why not everyone can use HTTPS in their websites? If you want your website to be supported with HTTPS protocol, then you need to buy a SSL certificate for your website, which may cost from $10 to $100 or even more based on your requirement. Here's what Google Webmaster Central blog says on HTTPS. From August 2014, Google considers HTTPS as a ranking signal and is becoming more and more relevant. Earlier, it was not necessary for every site. HTTPS is like an encryption, which is technically important for sites dealing with purchasing processes or sensitive client information to increase trust and conversion rates. But at Google I/O, Google calls for HTTPS everywhere on the web. More and more webmasters are adopting HTTPS, which is also known as HTTP over TLS, where TLS stands for Transport Layer Security. You can buy a single or multi-domain or a wildcard SSL certificate. Google recommends you to use 2048-bit key certificates. Also, there are several other recommendations from Google. But let's check for the security level of Newegg website using this Qualys Lab tool. Newegg.com is an e-commerce website which sells computer parts and many other things related to electronics. I have added a product to my cart in Newegg.com website. Once I have added the product to cart, you can see in the address bar that the normal Newegg.com has got converted into HTTPS. This denotes me that this is a secured page and the details which I provide on this page will be secured and protected. Using SSL Labs, I checked for Newegg.com for the security grid and the result was grade A. Using Qualys SSL Labs tool, you can check the HTTPS security of any domain. For a normal blog or a news website, HTTPS or SSL certificate is not needed. But when Google says that it's a ranking factor, it's advisable to buy a SSL certificate for each and every website. in 2016 research data. Almost half of the web pages in top 10 and one third of the web pages in top 20 uses HTTPS encryption. Not only that, Google announced that websites which don't switch to HTTPS by 2017 will be marked as unsafe in Chrome browser. This will continue to elevate the status of HTTPS as a ranking factor. Above all, the correlation factor has increased from 5% to 19%, which is higher than that for search volume of domain name. There are several websites which provides you SSL certificates and you can buy them for per year. GoDaddy offers you SSL certificate for $63 per year for single domain or one website. If you want SSL certificate for multiple domains, then you need to pay $135 per year, and this rate differs from website to website. For example, Rapid SSL provides you single domain SSL certificate for just $50, which is around $13 lesser than GoDaddy. Namecheap.com, this website provides you a SSL certificate for per domain basis for just $9 per year. Some websites like Let's Encrypt and Cloudflare offer you free basic SSL certificates. So, based on the SSL certificate that you buy and based on the features or protection it gives, the price varies. And also, it varies from website to website or SSL certificate provider to provider. But I recommend you to buy SSL certificate while you buy the domain or hosting from your hosting provider, which will give you a slightly easier integration and configuration. To wrap up the advantages and disadvantages of HTTPS, HTTPS gives you greater user trust, especially for websites with security payments such as e-commerce websites, and it protects against phishing and hacks. It also gives you ranking advantages in Google's search results. But it also comes with a set of drawbacks or disadvantages. Implementing HTTPS inside your website is a time-consuming process. Also, it's certificate-based. What is certificate-based? Earlier, you need to buy SSL certificate for e-commerce websites. And now Google recommends you to buy TLS certificate, which is also termed as SSL Plus certificates. Though there are many possibilities to get a free SSL or TLS certificate, the implementation is time-consuming one and it requires the modification of link structure of your entire website. Also, there are probabilities for speed losses, which means your page speed may decrease a bit, which also means that the page loading time may increase a bit. If your page loading time increases, then it negatively affects your search engine ranking. Once you have implemented HTTPS in your website, you should move to a little bit powerful server such as VPS or cloud hosting. You can see that Wikipedia has completely moved from HTTP to HTTPS. Whenever you search for Wikipedia, the URL in the search result appears as HTTPS. This is why I recommend you to move to HTTPS to get a boost in search engine ranking. In the next lecture, let's see importance of search volume of your domain name and how it affects your search engine ranking. In this lecture, we are going to see search volume of domain name and its importance in the ranking factor. What is search volume of a domain name? Let's see an example. I have searched for AMD Zen. AMD Zen or Ryzen is a processor of the brand AMD, and it hadn't come out as of January 2017. That is, it was not released officially at that time. So all news or articles that were published on the internet about this processor would either be a rumor or some prediction about the performance of this processor. So when I searched about AMD Zen, this is the new section, so let's leave it. Here is the first search result and it's from the domain WCCF Tech. The first two search results are from the same domain. The third search result is from Wikipedia. Wikipedia always comes in the top 5 to 6 search results because of its domain authority or domain search engine visibility, which we saw in the previous lecture. So let's skip Wikipedia alone for this comparison. Let's assume this as the third result, which comes from pcworld.com domain. And then comes GameSpot and Extreme Tech. So how can we analyze these search results with search volume of domain name? There is a tool in Google AdWords which is called Google AdWords Keyword Tool or Keyword Planner, with which we can find about search volume trends for any keywords. I have searched for the domain names, that is WCCF Tech, PC World, GameSpot, and Extreme Tech in the Keyword Planner tool. And these are the average monthly searches of these domains. GameSpot tops at 673,000 monthly searches. What this means? This represents the popularity of the brand name GameSpot. For every month, this GameSpot keyword is searched for around 673,000 times in Google search engine. This brings more domain authority and SEO visibility to GameSpot. So, as I said in the previous lecture, if you want domain authority, you want your domain name to get searched many times. Also, you need to get more backlinks or more links from several authoritative sites. Now let's come here. The next spot is PC World, which is searched 201,000 times every month. But do you observe one thing? WCCF Tech, which is searched just 40,000 times a month, comes first and second in search results rather than PC World and GameSpot. But the actual inference should be in the opposite way. WCCF Tech is a site which publishes all the rumors and upcoming processor specifications, features, etc. So it's highly relevant to the keyword AMD Zen. So there is no wonder in WCCF Tech appearing in the first or top 2 search results. But PC World and GameSpot are not such websites. They are much more related to reviews and gaming hardwares. So how come they appear in the second and third search result compared to Extreme Tech or Fudzilla, which are also highly related to WCCF Tech? This is because of the search volume of the domain name, which leads to more domain authority, and hence they come in the first page. Also, let's analyze these search results. These are the WCCF Tech posts which we saw in the search result, and they have optimized their posts in almost the best way possible because they have included H1, H2 tags, multiple images, interlinked their posts, and provided external links, and much more, which we are going to see in this course in the upcoming lectures. But only after optimizing their contents this much, they could come to the first search result. But coming to PC World, just see this post. Only one title and one image, and there are no interlinks, no bold, nothing in this post. But still they managed to come in the second or third search result. This is because of the search volume of their domain name, which translates to domain authority. So, if your website is new and if you are just competing with other niche pages or other competitors in your niche, you need to optimize each and every post in your website with all the elements that we are going to discuss in this course. Once you have got higher domain authority like PC World or GameSpot, then you can even compromise on optimizing your content. Because once you have got enough domain authority, you will automatically come to the first page for almost any keyword that is related to your website. One more thing you should note that GameSpot is almost in fifth spot in this search result. But when I opened the link of this result, it came out to be just a forum post. So it's not even the official post by GameSpot, but still it managed to appear in the fifth or sixth position for AMD Zen keyword. This is all because of search volume of the domain name or the domain authority. Now you could have understood what is a search volume of a domain name and how it links or how it translates to domain authority. See, in 2014, these are the search volumes of the domain name of the search result that appear from 1 to 30th position in Google search. The same websites have got higher amount of search volume of the domain name in 2015, and the increase is almost 300 to 400%. So what can you infer from this? Once you have developed a domain authority or a brand name popularity, you will come up in the search result for every related keyword of your website. So the simple process of search engine optimization is, first you need to optimize your content when you are new. Once you have attained domain popularity or domain authority, then you can skip or you can compromise on your content optimization. But still, you will continue to appear first in the search result. In the next lecture, let's see the ratio of home pages and how it acts as a technical factor in Google's search engine ranking. In this lecture, you are going to see the ratio of home pages in search results. For example, when you search for a keyword, among the top 10 to 30 results, there may be a few results that directly link to home page of some domain names. These are called home pages in the search result. This graph represents the ratio of home pages from 1 to 30th Google search result. Normally, when people search for a particular keyword, for example, GameSpot or WCCF Tech, only the first search result links directly to the home page, and the remaining second to 30th search results link to some of the interior URLs or content pages in those websites. What does this mean for the brands? To serve the search demand, brands are focusing to invest in content marketing and developing content hubs with evergreen content. This is paying dividends for the brands to identify themselves as knowledge centers, to serve best user experience to their users, and to direct them to these most relevant content pages. This trend also holds true compared from 2013 to 2014, which indicated that this is a long term trend and this trend is going to follow for the coming years. Also, this is in line with Google's development and endeavors to direct the user to the best page on every site. That is, directly to the page that has the answer for the user's search terms. Before moving further, I wish to make you clear about the difference between subdomains and directories. If example.com is the domain name, then example.com/blog is directory page and blog.example.com is the subdomain. The proportion of home pages ranking in lower positions has significantly decreased in 2015. This means that from search result position 2 downwards, there are more interior pages. that is, specific landing pages at directories level or subdomain level. So, what is the final inference from this graph? Approximately 90% of the search results with rankings 2 to 30 are interior pages, and they are not the home page. On the other hand, 30% of the URLs listed in position 1 are the home page to the domains. Now, what's next? Many of you might have a question. If I buy a domain with .com extension, will I get a boost in search ranking? Let's discuss the answer in the next lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see what is the percentage of .com domains in Google search results. This lecture is a kind of information lecture because generally the top level domains, whether it is .com or .org or .net, doesn't have any influence on search engine ranking factors. But still, it's good to know the percentage of .com domains in top 30, top 10, and in overall Google search results. In 2016, there has been a large increase in the presence of .com pages in the top 20 of Google's rankings. Since the correlation factor is exactly zero, this SEO factor has zero influence on search engine ranking. But still, pages with .com domains are continuing their dominance amongst high ranking web pages. But apart from search engine ranking factor, I recommend you to keep with .com domains. It's because people tend to use Control plus Enter or Command plus Enter while going into a website. For example, instead of searching for Newegg in Google or typing newegg.com, if I press Control and Enter keys together, it will directly go to www.newegg.com. This is the habitual factor for webmasters and bloggers. So, if you have a .com domain, then you have a slight competitive advantage in case of your customers or visitors who are bloggers and webmasters. In the next lecture, let's see the usage of flash content in your web pages and how it affects your ranking in Google search engine. In this lecture, we are going to see how many percentage of websites that come in 1 to 30th search result contain flash content. The proportion of pages that use flash is significantly lower in first 2 to 3 search result position than compared to 4 to 30th position. This graph represents only the desktop search results. In the mobile search engine result pages, the fraction of flash pages is just 5% compared to 14% average in desktop search results. So you could have observed that the top 3 positions are occupied by the pages which contains significantly lesser flash content. Though Google is not against flash content, it's good to avoid or restrict the usage of flash in your web pages as the correlation factor is in the negative zone. Since it's minus 1%, with the increase of flash content, your ranking will get reduced. The logic here is that with the increase in flash usage, your site's file size will increase by a significant amount, which leads to slower page loading time, which in turn affects your page speed as well as Google's search ranking. In the next lecture, let's see another SEO factor, that is URL length, and we will also see how it affects your ranking in Google search result pages. In this lecture, we are going to see URL length as a SEO factor. In 2016 research data, number of characters in URLs has risen by over 15% since last year. One reason could be the increase in number of contents from interior pages in directories and subdomains than the home pages. Google has started to show the precise URL related to the search query rather than just the home page of the website. This year, the correlation factor has got reduced from 15% to minus 3%, that is in negative zone, which means the URL length should be reduced from now on. Generally, Google advises to avoid unnecessary parameters in favor of speaking URLs. That is, you need to add keywords, related terms, and proof terms inside the URL instead of some unnecessary characters, symbols, stop terms, etc. But you can notice that the first search result has got the shortest URL, isn't it? This is because most of the first search result links to the home page of top level domains. That's why the URL length of first search result are always lower compared to the following positions. In the next lecture, let's see how file size affects your ranking in Google search results. In this lecture, we are going to see the next SEO factor, that is file size. In 2016 research data, we are dealing with the unzipped file sizes of web pages. So we cannot compare the previous year's result with this one directly. Before having a look at the file size graph, see the correlation factor. It has come down from 14% to 0, which means Google has started to neglect this as a SEO factor. It's just a mere coincidence that higher ranking results in desktop have higher file sizes of around 150 kilobytes in average, whereas higher ranking results in mobile have lower file sizes of around 93 kilobytes in average. So, even if your file size increases, have an eye on your site speed. In 2017, blogs and websites are writing 1500 to 2000 words longer articles compared to 2014 or 15, and that's why the file size has increased a bit. In the next lecture, let's see one of the most important SEO factor, that is page speed. In this lecture, we are going to see one of the most important search engine ranking factor, that is site speed or page speed. Instead of comparing the previous year search result with this year, which is done in all other lectures, let's have a comparison between desktop site speed and mobile site speed. You can see clearly that mobile site speed is comparatively faster than desktop site speed. This is because of two reasons. The first one is that the mobile optimized themes or the mobile exclusive theme is comparatively lesser in file size compared to desktop pages. The second reason is that some websites serve two different versions, one for desktop and one for mobile, where the mobile one is a minimalistic, simple, clean, and fast. Moreover, Google serves AMP version of web pages to mobiles with slower internet connection. In 2016 research data, the site speed is taken as complete time frame right up until a page's visible area had completely finished loading in the browser. Average site speed of top 10 or top 20 stands at 7.8 seconds for desktop and 7 seconds for mobile. Loading times for top ranked mobile URLs are around a second quicker than the desktop equivalents. In research data point of view and as a direct ranking factor, site speed may not seem important as the correlation factor has come down to 0 this year. But page speed is very important in user experience point of view. If your website takes 4 seconds to load, you have already lost 25% of users. 47% of consumers expect a web page to load in 2 seconds or less. 40% abandon a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. A 1 second delay decreases customer satisfaction by 16%. Above all, Google provides its own official tool to test your website's page speed. That's why you need to optimize your website to load between 1 to 2 seconds. In the next lecture, let's wrap up what we have seen in this section.